Hi, and welcome to another episode of Copy That. I'm your host, Twilla Amin. This week, we are with my guy, Terrell Lawrence. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Today, we're sipping on some Cabernet Sauvignon. I always sound French and fancy when we say that.
You're fancy right now. I appreciate it.
I see your cup. I see your cup look a little different.
Yeah,
Listen, cheers, though.
Cheers, absolutely.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, absolutely.
So, y'all, we're just going to hop right into That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah. Thanks, producer. That was good. We're going to hop right into it. You are a writer.
Yes.
I believe your title currently is co-producer for Everyone Still Hates Chris?
Everybody Still Hates Chris. Yep.
Animated series?
Animated.
Yes. Yes. That is so dope.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I actually have a writing partner now too.
Okay,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is our first animation because we want to try to broaden the scope a little bit.
Okay.
Because most of our experience has been with multicam.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're like, all right, we done that. We got a little experience with that.
Yeah.
So particularly, we got a little experience with that. So like now we want to broaden it, do a little something
Okay.
different.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm so proud of you because when we met, way back when at church, long time ago,
Still in diapers.
and through our was it the drama ministry, young adult ministry, and you were a writer.
Yes.
So to just see that, and
Yeah.
I think you were still working you weren't in the writer's room at that time.
No,
you were
not
working your way up.
Yes.
So I know you're from South Carolina, so let's start there. You're from South Carolina. Did you always know you wanted to be a writer?
I did not.
No.
I did not. Like, of course, being in South Carolina, you don't really know being a TV writer is something you can do.
Right.
Like,
That's a job? What?
You can make money, but mostly once I realized, you can make money from it and something I love.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. All
Yeah.
right, let's go for that. But like, I used to love watching TV with my grandma. Everybody, that's watching the soap operas. Which I hated at the time.
The soaps.
Oh, God.
My stories.
Exactly. Young and the Reckless.
Yeah.
Young and Restless. Victor,
Reckless, you said it right. Victim.
Exactly. That should be a real name. But yeah, so yeah, I didn't know I didn't know I could be a writer. But I knew I loved TV.
Yeah.
So I know. Fast forward many years later, I was in college, took a TV writing course. I was like, oh,
dope.
this is what it is.
Okay.
And I gotta give a shout out to my friend, my homeboy Matthew Richards, who told me about the writing program at USC, University of South Carolina at the time. Because I had no idea.
Okay.
So thankfully he told me about that program. I switched to him, and I definitely gotta give a shout out.
Wow.
To him.
So did you at that time, for him to tell you, did he know you had an interest in writing, or you like TV, or was it just like you're gonna like this class?
Well, because to me, I was like, we were having a conversation. I was like, at the time I was like an engineer major or a biology major.
Oh wow. And
I was first engineer major, and I realized I was just not supposed to be an engineer because I took a summer program I first went to school in Tennessee, Tennessee State University in Nashville, and I did so bad on one of the tests.
Oh no.
The professor was like, "Why are you here?"
Oh shoot.
That's the confirmation I needed. Man. I'm not
doing this. Yeah.
So I was talking to Matt. I was like, I don't know what I want to do, and I was like, he's like, what would you want? I was like, I like TV. I like to draw and stuff. I can't draw. I just like to.
Right.
But he's like, oh, there's a writing program here. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's dope.
And then that started the whole process.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Kind of similar. I don't know that I wanted to be a writer. I just knew I liked writing.
Yeah.
And like our communications, one of our professors was like, we're starting a new writing course if anyone's interested writing for film. And I was like, I'll apply. And did it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. You get to write. And that just launched so many other interests for me.
Absolutely.
So that's really.
It's like, that moment is like, oh, that's the beginning of the whole journey right there.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool. And then you came out to LA.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know nobody. Let me try. So when I made up my mind to move to LA, I was like, okay, well, I don't know nobody. Let me try to make some kind of connects. So Variety used to do like this, used to have like this phone list production companies.
Yeah.
So I looked it up and I got like a free trial. And before the free trial was up, I was like, okay, I copied and pasted all the contacts on a spreadsheet or Excel sheet.
So smart.
Like, so when this is over, I still got these numbers.
Yeah.
So like I literally called like over 100 numbers.
Wow.
Before I got to LA.
Before you got to LA. So you were, this is part of your preparation to move.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, cause I know LA's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know nobody, and like I guess I'll try this. And out of 100 people, like 3 people called me back.
Really?
And I'm still in contact with one of them to this day.
Wow.
Marsha Posner Williams. She was actually a producer for Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Benson back in the day.
Wow.
First, I called her and she called me back. She's like, how'd you get my number?
Who is this young man?
Like, who are you? What do you want? I'm like, oh, I got your number from Variety. My bad.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, no, it's cool. She's like, oh, I admire this. She's like, I used to be homeless at one point.
Oh, wow.
Then I came out here, and now I'm an Emmy Award winner producer.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, well, if you move out here, come say hi.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Well, you said she knows Tom Benson with Benson.
She was on Benson and Golden
Okay,
Girls.
because one of the writers on Golden Girls was my professor in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was her name? Or what was their name?
Mr. Benson. I can't remember his last.
Benson.
I can't think of his first name. Thomas. Yeah.
It's very possible they worked together.
Yeah.
I know she was on the first couple of years.
Okay, I think then they definitely was crossing over.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I came out here in my little 2-door Eclipse packed to the brim.
Wow, you drove?
I drove.
Oh, man.
From Columbia, South Carolina. I came straight over to LA. And had 1 month rent. That was it.
So you 1 month rent. Did you have a place to stay? So did you?
So once I solidified everything, I found a roommate online, which was terrifying because I was like, please just don't be a crackhead. You're gonna steal my stuff.
Don't be a serial killer.
Please. And actually, we still cool to this day.
Oh, that's good.
He actually lives in Houston now. He's a really good dude. We got a room. Like, we did the roommate thing. We signed a lease, did everything online at the time.
Wow.
And I came over here and 06.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm only 15 though. Don't do the math. Do the math.
I'm 15. Moved here in 06. It's fine. It's fine.
Exactly.
I moved here in 07.
Exactly.
I'm 14. It was great.
You take my word for it.
Yeah, just trust me.
So I came out here and just hit the ground running. I was like, yo, all right, let's do this.
That's
let's try to find something. And I actually called Marsha. I was like, hey, I'm here. And I went to her house in Sherman Oaks. And
wow.
She was really dope. And then she told me, like, oh, try this website called entertainmentcareers.net or .com or whatever.
They also had a book, Entertainment Careers.
Did they?
I have it. I should have bought it. I have it, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so dope.
Because I used to flip through that thing.
Yo, I'm telling you, that thing was,
it has phone numbers, agencies.
It was a godsend. It really was. Because I got, she told me about that website, and I ended up getting to ICM Talent Agency because of that. Yeah, and I worked there for like 8 years.
Wow.
I worked there for like 8 years.
You started. So let's talk about that because I don't think I had many people on who's worked through the agency. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's a classic way for people to get their foot in the door and understand how the industry works. Yeah. So did you start in the mailroom? You started an assistant? How did that work for you?
And that's even weirder because I was in accounting. You
started in an accounting department.
Because they just moved their accounting department from New York to LA, and they were just starting a new software system. So when they brought me in, they brought me in as a temp to test their software. Okay. Just to see, like, make sure to get any bugs, all the kinks and stuff. And I took to her real well. I'm like, all right, that's cool. This is what you need to do. Blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, okay. We might want to bring you on full time.
Oh, nice.
Because you're one of the few people, so when this go live, you can kind of help people out. So I'm like, all right, cool. Nice. So they brought me on full time. And so I just worked in accounting for the whole time I was there.
Nice. Nice. I think that's even, people sleep. So just an aside, like what a lot of people don't realize is that there are jobs in our industry just like other people. So there's accounting departments and HR departments, and people don't realize that you can work in entertainment and have these type of roles. So when I feel like when you're in accounting, you're learning like production accounting and you're learning like you might get to see what certain people make or what roles bring in, and there's like a knowledge that you're able to gain from being in accounting.
That's absolutely true, because I was able to learn so much about the business because of that, because I was able to look at contracts and see how deal memos looked. And I didn't even know what a talent agency was when I got in my crazy can you
yes, go ahead.
Okay. My crazy country ass was like, what is a talent agency? I would tell people I'm working at ICM Talent Agency. They're like, everybody eyes on
ICM is not like anything small. That was a big deal.
Especially back in 06. It was like one of the top 3 or 4 agencies at the time.
Those are the ones that people count. UTA, ICM,
WME, or William Morris.
endeavor.
And I didn't know nothing about it. And I was like, so it went from me. I'm like, I'm working at this place called ICM. Everyone's like, oh, ICM.
Wow.
So then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working at ICM. After a while, I'm like, please, calm me down. But like, it was cool. But yeah, I was able to see like contracts and to understand how it works. And yeah, keep on top of the payments because I know what the payment's supposed to look like. So that was very helpful.
That's helpful.
That was very helpful.
That's that skill set that helps you navigate in life. And I know one thing that you said is like, while you were there, you were able to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Then when you made that, and that helped you eventually get staffed.
Yeah.
And whenever you made that leap, that you realized you was still a lot to learn.
Oh,
I love that.
Man. Oh, Twilla. All the things
you don't know
I had
what you
to
don't
learn.
know.
Man, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So thankfully, like I somehow managed, I don't know, still grace of God, I managed to go from accounting to being repped at ICM to getting my first staff through them.
Shut up.
Because listen, I was applying to all of these different fellowships, getting denied. I got denied. Look, I got denied by every last one of them, y'all, and still keep going. So I got denied by all of them. I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I want the agency to hear about me from somebody else, so they'll come run to me. I don't want to run to them.
Yeah.
So I befriended one of our clients there. His name was Rob Greenberg. And but I used to do his accounting specifically. He was one of the few clients that called me personally.
Okay.
Like, hey, like, can you give me my dues reports? Cool. But I never wanted to cross that line.
Right.
But luckily, I had a friend. We had a mutual friends together, and I was like, yeah, I know him, but I don't want to cross the line. She's like, oh, I know him. Jashika James. Shout out to she. Like, I know somebody. Like, I gotta give a shout out to the people because I had some awesome people in my life who really looked out for me.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jashika James, and her twin sister Janika James too. Love them. She's like, oh, I know Rob. Let me like reach out and see whatever. And he was like, okay. So she did that. And he was like, oh, Terrell, I heard you write it. Let's meet for coffee. I'm like, all right, cool. So he was like, all right, what you got? I was like, I got a Big Bang Theory spec right now, and I'm working on pilot. And he's like, all right, well, send me your spec. I'm not going to read it, but I'll send it to someone who could. So then he sent it to his agent at the time, was a big agent, Ted Chervin. And Ted Chervin sent to a junior agent. Her name was Laura Gordon at the time. She read it. She's like, oh, this is cool. You got something else? I'm like, yeah, hold on. Give me a second. Yeah. So I got dusted off and polished my pilot. She's like, all right, cool. This is good. All right, I'm going to start sending you out. I'm like, wow. Oh, all right, cool. I'm sitting there in the county department, like, and every day she would email me or call me. I got excited. I got so excited to see her emails and like calls. I bet. And hi, you doing? trying to pay cool. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Huh? Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I was excited. Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, so through that, I got a general meeting with Bill Lawrence. Really cool meeting. And he, at the time, he couldn't staff me, but he liked me enough and he referred me to another show. Oh, wow. And then that's when I was with Greg Malins, and that's when I got that show.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
There's really several like little things you dropped in there that we have to talk about. Yeah. So along this whole time you were writing. Oh, so yeah. You were in accounting. You were still writing. And I know you were. Yeah. You had a fellowship, right, or something. Were you with the Cosby something?
OBS.
You were OBS.
Organization of Black Screenwriters, yes.
Yeah, so you were active.
Yes.
I met you were writing at church, so you were still writing.
Yeah, it was actually very helpful.
With all the rewrites?
Oh, man. All the rewrites, I'm telling you. Taja V. Simpson, Kimberly Addison. Yes. Oh, man. Y'all, them ladies hooked me up. Them ladies hooked me up to take notes and, like, be able to, like, don't be precious about anything. Because they were like, get ready to that. I'm like, okay, yeah. That was good. It was great training.
It was great training. Yeah. Absolutely. And so, like, you were doing that. You still had your side job. And then you were ready. Yeah. You were ready when somebody was ready, like willing to speak your name to somebody else. Yeah. You had work. Yeah. I've been in this situation. Don't be in this situation, guys, where I know somebody who's an actual co-EP. And he's like, I know you like to write. Just send me whatever you need. And I was like, I don't know if I finished that script. Don't be me. Because it's somebody like, and I just ran into him too recently. And he was like, still writing? I was like,
did you finish the script?
He's like, huh?
No, I'm asking. Did you finish it? Did you send it?
Hey, Terrell, how are you?
Oh, come on now. Oh, we don't get into that now.
But it's absolutely like it's something that I should finish, and it's fresh on my mind too. So I know that's going to be something that I delve into.
This conversation right now is confirmation that Twilla needs to finish her script.
I got to finish my script. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because those are opportunities I know people don't get.
And I want you to send me too.
Okay.
So, all right.
On camera.
All right.
He did that.
On camera. I told Twilla all right.
I'll send it. I'll send my finished. Yes.
Everybody, I'll witness.
Because I feel like he will call me out if I don't. So, yes, we'll do that.
All right, bet.
Absolutely. But no, there's so many gems that just like for 8 years is a long time to be doing something that's not your passion to do. Yeah. Obviously, you were making good connections. You were in a season of, I don't know, because it could get frustrating, especially when you talk about every fellowship, everything you could do, and you were looked over. Yeah. So I know, we know that feeling of rejection time and time and again.
Absolutely.
So then you get to the writer's room. I know that feels like jackpot. I'm here, and I know that first week also, like that, like that feeling of like I'm here. I've arrived to the place that I know this is not the final point, but this is the launching pad. Yeah. Talk about that, because I'm sure that's where you figured out you didn't know what you didn't know. Yeah.
Oh man. So that first week or whatever, everything happened so crazy. Everything happened so fast. Because literally, I remember like I was on lunch break and my Laura Gordon called me. Yeah, I was getting excited to see Laura Gordon's name. So she's like, "Where you at?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm on lunch." Oh, okay, cool. I just want to know, like, make sure you were in, because I was like, she said something that didn't make me think nothing big. So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I got back from lunch. And I'm just working at the desk, and next thing you know, she's like, "Hey, Terrell, are you free next Tuesday?" I'm like, "Free for what?" "Cause you just got stabbed." And like a lot of people like, "Oh,
why did I just celebrate like that?"
I know, like it's happening right now.
Yes.
So, like then people were like hiding behind the walls and like started cheering for me, and I was like,
Terrell.
"Oh, what is this real?"
Oh my gosh!
So literally, like I think that was like a Thursday or Friday. And I had to start Tuesday, or that Monday. And I had to start the next Monday. Wow. So everything happened so fast. And my boss was like, "All right, well, we got to find your replacement. So do you got any suggestions who you want to replace you?" I was like, I don't know. Literally went from that day to Monday in the writer's room. It was awesome. There was a whole deadline article. They pulled a deadline article up in the room.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was really cool. It was really cool. The room, like, that was such an awesome experience. Like, comedy rooms are some of the darkest, filthiest, nastiest places to be in. I love it. I absolutely love every bit of it.
I love walking past comedy rooms because the conversations that you hear. You're just a coordinator or manager. You walk about. What'd you say? Yeah, like, what's on the board? Did
I hear that right? But yeah, so it was really cool. Like learning how to pitch, learning how to use who you are, your experiences, your imagination, all of it. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't really get that until now. but just there, I'm just like deer caught in headlights, just excited to be there. I'm also I am very introverted a lot of time. Yeah. So I like to watch and observe before like I engage, just because I want to see, okay, how can I put myself in this.
I relate to that fully.
How can I bring a part of me and help out in whatever situation this is? So it was a lot of that. There's a lot of quiet, introspective learning, and watching and things like that in that first show.
Do you feel like, because I feel like that part of me sometimes is like misinterpreted as being like uninterested, and it's just like I'm really just learning. I'm absorbing everything.
I think a lot of times people probably think like, oh, that person's not paying attention. They're in their head, which I am in my head.
Yeah, for sure in my head.
All the time. I'm always in my head, like crazy. But yeah, like I'm here. Like trust me, I'm here, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to pitch this? What's the best way to fix this? What's blah 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 blah. So like some people can misinterpret that sometimes. But I had a great experience. Like I had it was really cool. That one, but it was like a show that I think it was a TBS show called Your Family and Mine. And at the time, TBS was going through a regime change and they had a new president. and they were saying like, oh, if this person gets it, then this show's done because they don't like multicams.
Okay.
That person got it, and yep, they're like, yep, it's gonna be a one and done, y'all. So,
yeah.
So like, I was like going hard for the show because I guess I still didn't really grasp what was happening.
Yeah.
So when it premiered, I was like, hell yeah, watch this show.
And it was like, it don't matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter. This thing is gonna be dead. This thing is dead.
Right.
And it was.
Oh
but
man.
It was cool though because after that show was over, then I went straight. So I still had a good relationship with Bill Lawrence. So Bill Lawrence brought me onto his show at the time, called Undateable, and that one was cool because it was a live show.
Okay.
And that's actually where I met my current writing partner, Austin Fagan, who's we were separate writers at the time. We're really good guy, really good guy.
Okay, yeah.
So that was really that was a learning experience too. So yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
That's so cool. What were you like in your position as a writer? It's your first day in the room. Like, what is going through your mind? Like, are you like? Because I know sometimes you hear about like writers' room politics or hierarchies, and like if you don't know writing, like if you don't know, I just talked about this, speaking about this with somebody this week about like how you're not just a writer. There's levels to it. There's staff writers and there's producers and like understanding that concept. How were you confident? Did you know about like how the writer's room worked, or were you just?
I still don't really. Well, I still don't really know levels.
We're still figuring it out.
I'm still figuring it out after all these years.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like you can tell. You can tell. Like to me, like especially you got the showrunner. Of course, you know that's the head honcho. Yeah. And then you got your number twos a lot of time who like will help up because showrunning is hard.
Man, listen,
it is hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's It's not just all the creative. It's all the production of it and the management. It's a lot. It's a lot,
and it's a lot of production of it all. It's like personal too. Like sometimes you gotta deal with the actors and personalities and egos and all this stuff. So it's a really hard job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I think just watching all of that, especially on that first show, just watching all that, watching the hierarchy. Kind of like, okay, I'm a staff writer. They're not expecting too much from me, but I'm gonna try to hit him with something. I'm like every now and then. I mean, I ain't gonna have a winner all the time.
I'm gonna at least make them laugh.
I'm gonna make them laugh. I'm gonna make them laugh. I'm gonna have at least. I want to make them laugh. I want the person with at least one smart pitch. And all right, that's it. I'm good. So that's what I learned from that first show. And like kind of just respecting the hierarchy and all this stuff because give people their due and their prop because this gig is hard. Yeah. This gig, like not even just show like writing. It's so many ups and downs.
Yeah.
And if you can survive it, man, like you gotta give people their props.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. What is it? Is there something that you wish somebody had told you, like a piece of wisdom, that either like before you got into the room or before you as you moved to LA, like or you were working? Was there something you wish you had known?
That's such a great question.
I be asking questions.
That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm like, oh man, there's so many answers that pop into my head at the time. I think one of the biggest things that I wish someone had told me is just be you. Be you and be confident in you. I think, and I honestly do think the more confident you are in yourself and the more you know what you're able to bring to the table, the better you are to the room. And I know that's not even necessarily just specific for writing, but that's just in life in general. Yeah. So the more you know yourself, the more comfortable you are yourself, the more you know your worth, the more you can bring to the table to anything. Right. Writing, being a doctor, whatever, being a manager at McDonald's, whatever it is. I think that's one of the biggest things, honestly. That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah. That's that wine. Thank you, wine.
I think that's your genius. Oh, man. So for you, what would you say like your ultimate goal is? Do you want to be a showrunner? You want to continue in TV? Do you see yourself going into features? Like what's up with you?
Man, I love TV. And if you would ask me like a couple months ago if I want to be a showrunner, I'm like, hell no, I want to be a showrunner. Yeah. But like, I honestly, being in the current room that I'm in now, I think I would love to be a showrunner. Yeah. And I would like to do it with my partner because me and my partner, I really like my team. Like,
that's important.
We're a really good team. We're a really good team. Yeah. And like we're still kind of a new team. We're still figuring it all out, and we're really good together. Yeah. And I could say like his strengths and my strengths, like it combined, I think we could really come up with a really good show.
Yeah.
And we could run it effectively, personally, all that good stuff, and make sure it's a good environment. It's not toxic. People hate to come in.
Right.
So
that's so key. That's so key. And I think post pandemic helped usher in that type of positivity. Yeah. That I mean, like, I can't speak to it too much before the pandemic, but I feel like you saw a wave of people just being like, we're here all day. Like, let's be nice. Let's want to work here.
That's what I remember. That's one thing people always say. Like, well, when you go in your showrunner meetings, they just want to know that you're likable because you're gonna be in there for 10 hours a day, and you spend a lot of time with people, and they are not lying. You spend a lot of time with these people, a lot of time away from your family. And if the showrunner hates their family, you're going to be in that room.
That is
for
real.
A miserably long time.
Yeah, that's true with even line producers. Whatever department you're in, that is true. Or going through a breakup or something that reflects. They're in a healthy, good relationship. You're out. It's
you're
great.
out. It's going to be dope. Dope. Like right now, the room is dope.
This is why work-life balance is important, guys. It trickles down everywhere else. What type of stuff do you like to write?
I love like dark comedies, I think, because to me, I think it reflects life. Like, life has ups and downs, and you got to smile through it all. I mean, sometimes you don't feel like smiling, which is good, which is just what life is. But just kind of reflect life and make you smile and make you think at the same time. Like, sometimes it's a hard balance. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm on multicam picture, like, well, this person gets shot in the face, and then they realize that they've been that strong all along, and I'm like, oh, hey, calm down. Like this is not that show.
Who's gonna approve this?
Who's gonna approve this one? Exactly. But like me personally, I love something like that because it's a reflection of real life. Yeah. I think and I think you might come into encounter this because when we think about like being a writer or being in this industry making movies, you think about like the collaborative experience. You think about the glitz and glam of it. You think a little bit about the starving artist phase, but then there's this period of time where you're like interfacing with the network, and you might be getting notes from the network, and that feels like that becomes business. Yeah. So when did it become like business for you and understanding like how to interface with like the different aspects of it? Oh, that's such a great question. I think it became business for me after things took a little bit of a rough turn for a little bit. Because to me, it was like, oh, I love writing. I want to say something, blah, 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 blah. But then what happened was, y'all.
That's when it gets good right here.
What happened was after the Undateable show, because I told you I got my first two shows back to back. I was like, oh man, this is dope. This is awesome. Yeah. Undateable gets canceled. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. Just all right. So I got two jobs back to back. I'm gonna get me another one. I'm good. Man, I was not staffed for another. I went through like a 5-year period of not being staffed. Wow. And that was not fun. Oh man. Yeah. So it went from like, all right, so I went from these two awesome shows to honestly going to survival mode. Man. Honestly, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, taking whatever job I could, doing DoorDash, Postmates, or whatever you gotta do to survive. Right. Still writing. And still like trying to like, all right, one of these days I'm coming. Yeah. I'm gonna get back on another show any day now. Right. Any day. So I went through that phase, which was honestly one of the best things that happened to me. Really? It was. It gave me a whole new perspective on life because I feel like it made me realize like, I struggled for 5 years or whatever the case was. But there are some people who struggle their whole life. In survival mode, and when you're in survival mode, you don't have time to think beyond where you at. Right. Day to day. Like, all right, tomorrow. All right, let me rob Peter to pay this. Like, let me not pay this so I can pay that. Oh, dad's about to get cut off, so let me pay this. Okay, the car about to be possessed, let me get that. Yeah. So like, So I was like, it was tough. It was tough mentally too. So fast forward, thankfully, and matter of fact, that's when during COVID, is when I met my writing partner. Me and my writing partner decided to team up.
Okay.
So it's like right at the end, like right when like lockdowns are about to end. Because
Yeah.
I think he was going through something similar. He was like, all right, well, let's try to come together and see what happened. I'm like, all right, cool. So we got together at the end of 2020, and we worked on something. And next thing you know, we were working in like February. We got our first like immediately.
Wow.
We got on the mini room. On HBO Max, and then we did Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which, also Meg. Shout out to Meg.
Shout out to Meg.
And
Love her.
then now we're on the show we're on now, and that's when it became more business for me. I'm like, all right, yeah, I wanted to be. I mean, I still want to do that. I still want to say something.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, let's just make this money, pay these bills. Let me take care of my mama.
And it's so real. And I love that you were like transparent in that moment of not being staffed and that's in between, because people think like at a certain point you're on and you make it and that's it. But the truth is like we're still like freelance in this industry.
Absolutely.
And so like you might not get a call for a while. What do you do? Did you have any thoughts ever going back home or?
Oh yeah, especially year 3, 4, and 5. I was like, maybe I need to take my black ass back home. I don't know. This might not work out.
Right.
But yeah, there were definitely times I'm like, am I wasting my time here? Especially that last year. I was like, am I wasting my time? Should I go back? Like I came over here to be a blessing to my mom. Now I'm over here asking my mom, can you send me some money?
Listen,
like I'm in high school or something.
Thank you, mom and dad.
Thank you, mom, man. Listen, my mom, my brother, my sister, my dad. Like, yes, I got some awesome people
the support,
who looked out for me during that time period for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you come with it and it's like it changed your perspective.
Yeah.
And now you're able to look at it more so like look at it from the business side, because that is so important. And we often hear about the struggle years before, but you don't hear about the struggle years in between. Yeah. That can happen. Yeah. And it's a reality. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was meeting with a writer one time, like I kind of told them like, I started off hot, then it went real cold, but then thankfully I'm back in. He's like, I never heard people come back from that. I'm like, you
stayed with it.
Yeah, you have to. Persistence. Yeah. That's really all it is. Like, I mean, thankfully I had a lot of people that helped me stay here. Yeah. Because, if not, I would have had to go back home. Right. But whatever you got to do, just be persistent. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever way, and like whatever you got at your disposal.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah. I love stories like that. I love stories. Yeah. And I don't know, like overall, like what do you feel like if there's been one key theme or something in your life during this period, or one key lesson, what would it have been for you?
One key, I think it goes back to something we talked about earlier, just knowing your worth.
That's good.
Knowing your worth. I honestly do feel that is one of the biggest things in life. Yeah. Just know your worth and protect your energy.
Protect your energy. Yeah, I am so big on that.
You have to protect your energy. Surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who want to grow. Like that's key.
I'm so
no matter what you're doing in life.
Yeah. I know people sometimes laugh at me, but I'm just like, I just don't need that energy in my space. Yeah, no, I don't bring it into my space.
Absolutely,
so.
I get it. I'm here. I'm here. And that's why you gonna send me that script.
See,
because we here.
We're here. Absolutely, you're getting that script. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Another question, just being from South Carolina, I always try to bring you up with me to the North Carolina.
Boo.
I mean, the real Carolina. If we gotta go there.
Yeah, cool.
Is there going back to the early years, moving out here, I can speak to a culture shock. Was there a culture shock for you?
For me, I think because I always loved like big cities, and like luckily like my family we used to travel like every summer. Okay. Somewhere, so it was I guess just the idea of a big city like I always loved. Yeah, I did kind of. I'm like, where the black people at? Whenever where the black folks at? Yeah. Like everyone's so scattered around and all that good stuff. So yeah, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. And I think for me, it was like, cause I like big cities. I thought I was going to move to New York. And then, so I had been to LA, like probably like the year or so before I had actually moved out here. And I was just like, this It's different. It's got the palm trees. It's got the dirt. I don't know if it still feels like America. Like, where am I?
What is this place, right?
Right.
Man, but now I be going to Runyon all the time. Be going to the beach. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm a little Cali now, but nah, I'm still South Carolina to my core. Right?
Yeah, there's certain things that comes out. Like for me, I know it comes out sometimes. Like the accent might pull out, or you know, gotta have my sweet tea every now and again.
Oh yeah. When they brought sweet tea over here, I'm like, oh yeah, now okay,
it's good. We're not
okay.
Because it was a hard period of time where it was like you could not find sweet tea anywhere
at all.
And I'm ashamed to say that now I can actually drink tea unsweetened. And like
she sell out, y'all. She bougie. Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes certain things you just be like, that is a little too much sugar.
I'm like, I want Kool-Aid. I want to put it all in the whole bag, the whole fountain pie bag. Put it in there.
Yeah, but it's so funny. I remember me and Lori. Me and Lori one time, like before Chick-fil-A's were popular out here. We used to have to make a trek down the 405. I forget which city it was, but
it was in Carson.
Yeah, something down there.
I did the same thing.
Like, are we making this trek today? I sure am.
Yep. It was like a weekend planned trip to go to Chick-fil-A when we first got there. Sure did.
Collect your little change.
Right.
Little gas money. Don't worry about gas. I got it today.
Hey, we're going to make this Chick-fil-A trip real quick.
Oh my gosh. Had I known that, we could have all carpooled.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I think I went to that one. I think once I was living in the Valley, there was one in like Santa Clarita. I went to that one.
Oh dang, you went to Santa Clarita.
Oh yeah, I wanted Chick-fil-A bad.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Real bad. I'm like, they feeling like you got that Chick-fil-A, please. I need it.
Please give it. I need your Chick-fil-A, please. Oh my gosh, it's so many things. Also going back to like before you made it out here, or not even just you in particular. If there's somebody who's like, I really want to be a writer. I know when I move to LA, I want to write. Not ready to move to LA yet. What is your advice to them to get them prepped?
Man, like things are changing so fast because especially since COVID happened, there's a lot more rooms going on Zoom now. So like the advice is almost like back in the day it would have been like, no, you gotta be out here, this. I mean, I still kind of feel that's true to an extent, but not as hard as it used to be. You know? So you can almost be living in where I see like places like Atlanta starting to get a lot of studios over there. But yeah, I think if people who are wanting to still come out to LA, because I do feel like, especially if you want to do TV writing, the majority of that is still here. Try to make as many connections you can before you do it. Hone your craft. Just see what you like. Try to find your voice, what you like to write, what you want to say, what your humor or what your drama. Just hone your craft. Try to make connects. And try to save your money because it's expensive.
You said you came out here with 1 month rent.
Yes.
That lasted you though. You did okay.
Man. So I had the 1 month rent, and then I think my sister took out a loan. My mama took out a loan in my sister's name or something like that. Cause I think they all needed some money too. They're like, all right, well, I need a little money for this. You need some money for this. All right, we're just gonna get a loan. You're gonna get like 1,000. I'm gonna get 2 over here.
Yeah.
So that got my second month, and then and then I started working at a post-production place or something like that. I had like 2 jobs. I started temping at TV Guide. And I was doing a ton of post-production plays in Santa Monica. Yeah. And I think that's so incredibly important to know, like for people to know, because like you said, it is expensive to be out here, and sometimes it's almost a luxury to be out here. If you can afford it without that struggle, it's definitely a luxury. So like for people to know, like in your case, and my case too, is definitely like family sacrifice to make sure that we can pursue our dreams and what we came out here for. I got some dope. I got a dope family.
Man,
I really
me
do.
Too. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I know that's right. Cheers to family.
Cheers to family. Absolutely. For real. You need
Man.
that. Man, before we get out of here, one thing I like to do is just do like some recaps of our conversations. Where's my phone? I gotta reach for my phone. So one thing we do generally 5 takeaways from every episode and from every guest. So we're gonna recap your wisdom on today. Let's see. as I'm pulling it up. Excuse me. 1 second. There we go. Yes. So, key takeaway number 1. You can start networking before you move to Los Angeles.
Yes.
There was how you did it in your case,
Absolutely.
which was brilliant. And then now, like you said, like everything's going online and there's different ways to do it. So you could still like network.
Absolutely.
Reach out to people digitally, which is a little easier.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I'll give a tip on networking too, especially for my shy folks out there. Like I said, I'm very introverted. So like I remember when I first started doing networking, like I'm not a person like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to that person. That's not how I do it.
Yeah.
I would find like one person and just talk to that one person the whole time. I probably held a couple people hostage, but I feel like, I feel like you like able to like actually build a rapport because I actually got to know some really, really cool people and stayed in touch with a lot of cool people.
So I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I hate going to like events where like you got to meet all these people.
Yeah.
And that's actually like the time I did the same thing. Like she actually noticed that somebody was taking up more room and being louder and speaking a lot. And then she turned to me and she was like, tell me about you. And what do you do? And then we talked. And then she said, she gave me her card and she was like, I want to talk more. Let's hang, like,
I love that.
Reach out to me. And like that interaction led to just getting so much wisdom in this.
That.
Yeah, it was, we still are in touch. And that's, yeah. It's very... that's the quality of it too. Like you can talk to a lot of people and get a lot of cards. And I think one thing that kind of turned me away from networking early on was that a lot of people were just about like, who are you and what can you do for me?
Yep, that's exactly it.
And it kind of turned me off because it wasn't genuine. And it was a lot of energy to do that. So when you meet first of all, you never know. We're all here for a reason. There's probably like, even if you're networking across the board to somebody who's on your same level, you never know where they're going to be in 5 years. So that's still important to get to know people as people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Treat everybody with kindness, like regardless. You know? It's not that hard. It's not hard.
Right. It really isn't. And you'll be surprised. You're like, I remember that person's name. Look at them. Yes. Number 2, there are plenty of lesser known industry jobs where you can gain important skills and build lasting connections. Mr. Accounting Department over here is a great example.
Right? Absolutely.
And I love what you said. Like you can look at deal memos. You see how things are structured. Like paperwork that you wouldn't have access to as a PA or any other, like not too many positions we get to see that.
Yeah.
That's key. That's so big. 3, always work on your craft so that you'll be ready when opportunity comes.
Absolutely. Stay ready.
Yeah. You don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
I have to get ready to give my thing to him.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Don't be me. Number 4, be confident in who you are. The more you know your worth, the more you can bring to the table. That is good.
That's across the board.
Yes. Like that should be a quote somewhere hanging up in somebody's office. And finally, number 5, persistence is key.
Yeah. That's it.
Period.
That is it. Period.
I think, and that's also a testimony to like where we are. Like we knew each other early on in the game.
Yeah.
Where we were just trying to trying to survive and make it, and both been through like hard periods of time, and persistence is what allowed us to be here.
Absolutely. And like look at us, like 2 Carolina kids sitting on this couch in LA chilling doing an interview. I'm telling you, like whatever that dream is, y'all go for it. Please. I mean, I know life, there's different obstacles in your life, but whatever you can do to go after your dreams, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's so important.
It's so important. And I think about like how that just like improves your quality of your life when you're willing to give into that thing that you feel called to do.
Absolutely. So that's it.
That's so good. Terrell, where can we find you if people want to follow you?
I am mostly on IG a lot. It's just Terrell, Terrell.Lawrence. I know it's hard.
There'll be a lower third. There'll be a lower third right there. You get to see.
And then on Twitter, Chronicle of Nunya.
Chronicle of Nunya. I love that.
Yeah, and I hardly tweet because ain't none of your business.
You let us know right away. I like that. Good branding. Thanks again, dude. It's been so amazing, and I'm glad that
it's been a pleasure.
We said it's been forever, but this is a great reunion.
Yeah,
so it's been
honestly, this feels good. Thank you, Twilla. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And until next time, be sure you can watch on YouTube. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you subscribe, you hit that notification bell, and if you're listening, just know we're available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Absolutely.
Have a great one.